I built an employee yesterday in 45 seconds for free. Now, it's scanning commercial real estate in Florida right now while I'm recording this. It knows zoning laws, traffic patterns, and lease rates better than any broker I've ever hired. And here's the part that should terrify every business consultant in America. I didn't even write a single line of code. For 15 years, we were sold the virtual assistant dream. Offshore labor, $5 an hour, hand over your inbox and go sit on a beach. But you didn't buy freedom. You bought a management job. You spend your mornings fixing broken English and emails you didn't write. You spend your afternoons resetting passwords they forgot. You spend your nights wondering if your data is actually secure. You didn't build a business. You built an adult daycare center. But the era of the assistant is dead. 2026 is the year of the agent. Hello and welcome back, my fellow entrepreneurs. I'm Kim, your host of Small Business Big AI, the podcast where we take the complexity out of artificial intelligence and turn it into clarity you can actually use. Now, today, I am going to show you how I'm building two empires, one consulting firm and one massive insurance agency that hasn't even opened its doors yet. And I'm using a synthetic workforce that never sleeps, never complains, and never asks for a raise. And as always, I'm joined by my husband and co-strategist, Hal. Welcome back, Hal.
Always. Let's go.
All right. Welcome to the future of entrepreneurship. Let's build something.
Kim, you walked in the office yesterday looking like you had seen a ghost or won the lottery. I couldn't tell which.
Oh, Hal, it was both, and I sat there staring at my computer screen thinking, if this is real, then I just wasted 3 years of my life learning the hard way.
What happened?
Well, Google dropped the new Gemini 3 model, and for the first time in history, Hal, the barrier to entry for building software didn't just get lower, it vanished.
Vanished? That's a big word.
I mean, gone, Hal, gone. Look, everyone listening knows that I don't chase hype. I value ROI, return on intellect. But something has shifted. I vibe coded an app yesterday. And everything I thought I knew about what it takes to scale a business just became obsolete.
Okay, so let's frame this for the listeners, because I know there are people out there walking the treadmill or driving to work right now thinking, great, another AI tool I have to learn. So why does this actually matter to a person trying to scale a business today?
Well, because we are entering the age of sovereignty, Hal.
Independence? Freedom?
Exactly. And I'm talking real freedom, not the fake kind they sold us with the virtual assistant dream. I mean, sovereignty means you don't need permission to scale. You don't need a hiring budget. You just need the right systems. Now, the old way was leverage through people, which is, messy and expensive. And the new way, well, it's leverage through architecture. Now, I call it the centile model, like half human strategy and half AI horsepower.
You're such a Greek geek.
Okay, guilty. But listen, if you get this right, you turn your business into a technology-enabled superpower. You can run a $10 million company with a team of 3.
And that's exactly what we're building. with our consultant clients through our small business transformation model.
Yeah, the SBTM framework.
It's how we help business owners move from reactive chaos to strategic sovereignty. Most consultants teach tactics like, here's how to use the tool, here's how to run an ad. We teach architecture, how to build businesses that scales profit, not paperwork.
And AI fits into that how?
AI is the test. It exposes every broken system you've been ignoring. If processes aren't documented, AI can't automate them. If the team isn't aligned, AI just amplifies the confusion. If you're not measuring the right things, AI will optimize the wrong outcomes.
Yeah, we talked about that in last week's episode. The title was AI Doesn't Fix Misalignment, it Reveals It. Like really, really fast, Hal.
That's why SBTM starts with the alignment before automation, clarity before code. So when you say you vibe coded an agent yesterday,
Yeah, I could only do that because I'd already done the hard work. I mean, I knew exactly what task needed automation. I knew the inputs, the outputs, and the success criteria.
the agent worked on the first try because the system was already clear.
And that's the difference, Hal, between someone who chases AI tools and someone who uses AI strategically.
But if you get it wrong,
Then you're managing the people who are managing the robots. And that is a special kind of hell I want to save you from.
fair enough. So walk us through what happens.
Well, I didn't hire a developer. I didn't even have to watch 6 hours of YouTube tutorials. I simply opened Google AI Studio and I just described what I wanted. I mean, like I was talking to a really smart intern. And I told it, I need a research assistant that scans commercial real estate listings in Lake Nona, Florida. Now I want you to filter out anything ugly, check the zoning laws, and put the good ones in a spreadsheet.
And
And it built it in 45 seconds. How? Now I have a drawer full of things that I have paid good money for that don't work. I mean, half-built apps, we have broken automations, tools that work once and then collapse the second I tried to customize them. I have hired developers who nodded along in a Zoom call, took my money, and delivered something that looked nothing like what I described. And because I'm not a coder, I couldn't fix it. I just had to eat the cost and move on.
so you were skeptical.
No, I was braced for disappointment. I typed in my little description, hit build, and thought, okay, here we go. Another thing that's going to have work, and then I'll spend 3 weeks trying to explain what I actually meant.
And
But it didn't have work. It worked. The app opened. It started scanning LoopNet. It filtered by square footage. It cross-checked zoning codes from the city of Orlando. And it populated a spreadsheet with the top 3 office spaces that actually fit our criteria.
on the first try?
On the first try. And how? I felt something I haven't felt in a long time when it comes to technology.
What?
Hope. Not hype. Not this may be cool someday, but actual hope that I could finally build the things I see in my head without needing a computer science degree or a 6-figure developmental budget. Now, that task used to take me 10 hours a week, or it would cost me $2,000 a month for a VA who'd still get half the zip codes wrong. And now it's free. It's instant, and it's better than I am at that task. Now, that's not an improvement. That's a phase change.
Okay, so you got the blueprint, you got the power, but I want to make sure people understand this isn't just ChatGPT with a better prompt, right?
Right. It is not. This is the difference. And let me show you why.
Small steps that lead to big changes.
Join our growing community of small business owners who are using AI to transform their businesses. Subscribe and be part of the conversation.
Okay, let's get technical, but keep it simple. You said agent. Most people listening here, they think chatbot. They think ChatGPT. Is there actually a difference? Or is that just marketing fluff?
Well, how asking if an agent is a chatbot is really like asking if a Ferrari is a bicycle. Now, they both have wheels, but only one gets you to the finish line without pedaling.
Okay, fair point. Break it down.
Okay, so a chatbot is a librarian. You walk up to the desk, you ask a question. Now, the librarian goes to the shelf, they pull a book, and then it reads your paragraph and stops.
It's passive.
Right. So it waits for you. If you don't ask the right question, you get the wrong answer.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. Now, an agent is not a librarian. An agent is a research team. Now, you don't ask an agent a question, you give an agent a mission.
A mission?
Right, a mission. Now, you say, I need to find a 1,500 square foot office space in Lake Nona, Florida, and it needs to be under $45 a square foot, zoned for insurance, and have high foot traffic. Now, a chatbot says, here is a list of websites where you can look. But an agent says, I'm on it. And then it leaves, it scans LoopNet, it reads the zoning PDFs from the city of Orlando, it filters the junk, it verifies the price, and it comes back with a spreadsheet of 3 options and asks, do you want me to email the broker?
Okay, that's the difference. One talks and other does.
Exactly. And that's what makes this moment so critical. Because until about a week ago, building that real estate agent required a team of engineers and really about $40,000-$50,000.
And now?
Well, now we have Gemini 3 and Google AI Studio. And that barrier just really disappeared. So I went into the studio while we were waiting for our flight to Nashville, and I vibe coded and built the app.
You built your agent.
Right, my agent.
I still love the phrase vibe coding. It sounds like something a DJ does.
It felt like DJing, Hal. I mean, like I said, I didn't write code. I didn't touch Python. I just typed in the vibe. I described the mission, pressed build. I replaced a task that used to take me 10 hours of scrolling or $2,000 a month VA with a 30-second app or agent I built waiting at the airport.
All right, you've sold me. And now there are listeners right now, consultants, agency owners, real estate folks, who are staring at their inbox thinking, I need this yesterday. But they aren't you. They don't vibe code. Where do they start? Give us the blueprint.
Well, if you want to move from busy to sovereign in 2026, then you need to follow these 3 steps.
And you cannot skip. I've watched people try. It ends badly.
That's right. So step one is the audit. Now, do not try to automate everything. Now, that's how you build Frankenstein. So instead, I want you to find the task that requires data movement, but really zero judgment.
Such as?
Such as, are you copying names from emails into spreadsheets? Or are you looking up addresses and checking zip codes? Or maybe are you downloading invoices and then renaming them by date?
If you can write a checklist for that, an agent can do it.
Absolutely, Hal. But here's the trap. Most people pick the wrong task first. They try to automate customer service or sales outreach, things that require nuance, empathy, and really reading between the lines. And then the agent fails. So they get frustrated, they give up, and they say, see, this AI stuff doesn't work.
So start boring.
Yes, start boring. I want you to start simple. Start with the thing that makes you want to throw your laptop out the window every Tuesday morning.
Been there, seen that.
And for me, it became the real estate research. 10 hours a week of clicking through listings that didn't even match our criteria. Now, for solopreneurs or business leaders, even consultants and coaches, that's the endless workflows that demand your attention. Now, most small businesses are drowning in $10 an hour tasks managed by overwhelmed humans.
So that's step one. Find your Tuesday morning laptop throwing task.
Right.
Okay. Step two?
Well, step two is the architecture.
Explain.
Well, you go to Google AI Studio. Now, it's free and it is powerful. So do not try to code. Just describe the employee you wish you had. So type a prompt like this. You are an expert research assistant. Your job is to take input A and turn it into output B. Now, here are the rules. And then you press build.
And it just works?
Right. Here's where it gets really weird, Hal. It will probably work on the very first try. And you'll stare at the screen thinking, wait, that's it? And yes, that's it. And you'll feel a little bit cheated. Honestly, like I spent 3 years wrestling with Zapier and hiring freelancers on Upwork, and you're telling me I could have just described it in plain English?
Yes. Welcome to 2026.
It's infuriating and amazing at the same time. But that brings us to step 3. And this is where amateurs get dangerous.
Dangerous?
Yes, dangerous. So never, and I mean never, trust an agent blindly on the first date.
Then step 3, zero trust test. You need a human in the loop.
So when I built the Lake Nona real estate agent, I didn't let it email brokers. I had it send the drafts to me first. So I vetted the output. I corrected it. I taught it. And here's what nobody tells you about this phase, Hal. Your agent will lie to you with confidence.
Wait, what?
Not maliciously, but it will hallucinate. It will make up zoning codes that sound plausible. It may report a square footage number that's off by 20%. And if you're not watching, or if you just let it run wild on day one, your agent will confidently send a completely insane email to your biggest client at 3 a.m. on a Sunday, and you won't know until Monday morning when they reply asking if you have lost your mind.
That's terrifying.
And that is why the zero trust test exists.
So explain, how's it done?
Well, okay, Hal. So here's how I do it. So for the first 20 or so iterations, I review every single output. I mean, like every email draft, every spreadsheet entry, every recommendation. So I'm looking for patterns. Now, where does it get confused? Where does it make assumptions? Where does it need guardrails? And I correct it. I give it feedback. I teach it my standards. And only when it earns my trust after maybe, 40, 50 successful runs do I actually take the training wheels off.
So it's not set it and forget it.
Right, not at first. At first, it's set it and babysit it. Now, here's the beautiful part about that. Once you've trained it and once it knows your standards, you never have to do that task again.
And that's 10 hours you just bought back.
That's where the next empire gets built.
The consulting business.
Exactly. The consulting business and the small business transformation model.
Here's what most people miss. You can't automate your way out of chaos. If your business is a mess, AI just makes it a faster mess. And that's why we built the SBTM, a 2-layer system. Layer 1, the 5 transformation principles. This is mindset, how you think, lead, and adapt. Layer 2, the 5 tenets of financial strength. This is the mechanics, how money actually moves through your business.
And the principles, they unlock the tenets, right?
Correct. Because you can't control your cost of goods sold if you haven't embraced intelligent change. You can't enjoy the fruits of your labor if you haven't simplified your systems first.
And so the layers interlock like gears. So when one turns, the other responds, right?
And that's what we're teaching consultants to use with their clients.
And that's what I'm teaching owners to use in their own businesses. Because really, the truth is, in this AI era, you don't need another course on how to scale, Hal. You need a system that tells you what to fix first based on where your business actually is right now.
That's what the SBTM diagnostic does. It shows you your stage. Stabilize, systematize, scale, or prosper. And it gives you your next strategic move. So, audit the task, build the agent, verify the work.
And then scale it. Because once you've built one agent that works, you can build 10, 20, even 100. Now, that's the difference between a business owner and an architect. Ready to unlock the power of AI for your small business? Well, don't just listen. Become a small business Big AI insider. Subscribe and get ready to dominate.
Okay, AI agents for consulting. That makes sense. You're selling strategy. But let's pivot to a new project. You're opening a brick and mortar insurance agency, AAA, down in Lake Nona. Insurance is a trust game. It's families, it's assets, it's protection. If I'm a client, do I really want you to know that my AI agent picked my policy? That sounds cold.
Well, Hal, that is exactly why I'm using them, actually. I'm not using agents to replace the relationship. I'm using them to protect it.
How so?
Well, right now, we are in the pre-launch phase. The doors aren't even open yet, and this really is my laboratory.
Laboratory?
Yeah, that's my hypothesis. If I use agents to handle everything that isn't the client relationship, things like site selection and compliance filings and licensing paperwork and zoning research, then I should hit the ground running instead of crawling out of the trenches exhausted.
The founder's fatigue.
I mean, right. founder's fatigue. We've seen it a dozen times. Now, most agencies open with it. They spend 6 months fighting with zoning boards, scanning commercial leases, drowning in compliance paperwork. And by the time they actually cut the ribbon, they are toast. They have nothing, absolutely nothing left for the customer. I mean, they're answering the phone on day one thinking, oh, please don't ask me another complicated questions. I haven't slept in 3 days.
That's not exactly the energy you want when someone's trusting you with their family's financial protection.
Exactly. And I refused to open that way. So while we were in Nashville handling the consulting business, my site selection agent was working in Lake Nona. It wasn't just Googling, it was cross referencing the city of Orlando zoning maps with traffic patterns and commercial lease rates. And it was filtering out the noise. So I only see the top 3 locations that fit our brand, Hal.
So the robot does the work, but you make the decision.
Precisely. And it goes even deeper than that. I mean, insurance is heavy on red tape. I mean, compliance, licensing, state filings, continuing education requirements, policy updates from carriers, you name it. So if I do that manually, then I'm nothing more than a clerk. If I hire a VA to do it, then, like I said in the beginning, I'm a manager. But if I build a compliance agent to monitor those filings, then I'm an owner,
And that frees you up to be what?
to be present. Now, when the Lewis Howard AAA Insurance Agency opens its doors in Lake Nona, I won't be in the back office stressing about a missing permit or a filing deadline that I forgot. I'll be in the front, looking a client in the eye, asking about their family, and actually listening to their answer
So the digital speed handles the bureaucracy.
so that the human heart can handle the client. So we use automation to deflect the distraction so that we can focus on the vision.
And how's it going so far?
Well, ask me in 3 months. Look, I don't know if this will work. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm testing a theory. I could be completely wrong. But here's what I do know. This is the first time I've opened a business using the exact system that we teach.
The SBTM system.
Right. So the Lake Nona agency isn't just an insurance office, it's a laboratory. I'm using layer 1, the transformation principles, to build the foundation.
Embrace intelligent change?
I'm using AI to scan 200 office locations instead of spending 10 hours on LoopNet.
Simplify and automate systems?
I'm building compliance agents to handle licensing filings before we even open.
So the agents are handling the bureaucracy.
And layer 2, the financial tenets, is already baked in.
Profit-driven sales?
Yes, we're not chasing volume. We're targeting high-value policies with strong retention.
Control overhead?
Yes, I'm not hiring admin staff. I'm building systems that eliminate the need for admin staff.
You're building the agency the way we would consult someone else to build it.
Exactly. And if I can't make this work, if I can't use SBTM to launch the Lewis Howard AAA Insurance Agency of Florida without burning out, then I have no business teaching it to anyone else. That's why I'm documenting everything. Every agent I build, every system I test, every mistake I make. Because if this works,
when it works.
It becomes the case study for every consultant, every coach, and every service-based entrepreneur who's tired of being the bottleneck in their own business.
Digital speed protects human heart.
And that's the thesis how. And the Lewis Howard AAA Insurance Agency of Florida will be the proof.
That's a bold stance.
It's the only stance that makes sense to me anymore. Now, I'd rather fail building the future than succeed managing the past. Because here's what I know for sure. The old way is broken. The hustle harder, sleep less, do it all myself, that model doesn't scale. It burns you out. And the hire a team, manage the chaos, hoping nothing breaks, that model, well, that just trades one set of problems for another. So I'm building a third way, where the robots handle the repetitive and I handle the irreplaceable. And I'll report back the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Because that's what this podcast is all about. Not theory, not hype, real experiments, real results, real businesses being built in real time.
Now, that's it for today's episode of Small Business Big AI. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now, some of you listening are going to build agents this week and feel like you just unlocked cheat codes. And some of you are going to try and it's going to break. Now, both are fine. Just don't stay stuck.
And if this episode helped you, if it gave you clarity, or even just a sense of comfort, please share with one other entrepreneur who might be carrying the same weight quietly.
So connect with us on LinkedIn or Facebook. We love hearing your stories, your wins, your breakthroughs. And yes, we even love hearing your, oh no, that's exactly us moments.
Until next time,
Keep embracing change.
keep innovating.
And remember, the future of your business is bigger than you think.
And the small steps you take today.
Will shape the legacy you build tomorrow.
I'm Hal.
And I'm Kim. And this has been Small Business Big AI. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode.